Beelzebub's Tales to His Grandson, Chapter 39, The Holy Planet, Purgatory. After several diagnostics, the cosmic ship Karnak left the Holy Planet, and again began to fall further in the direction of the place of its final destination, and namely, in the direction of that planet on which Beelzebub had had the place of his arising, and whither he was returning to finish his long existence. To finish that long existence of his which, on account of certain definite circumstances, he had to fulfill on various cosmic concentrations of our great universe, and always under conditions very unfavorable for him personally, yet which he nevertheless objectively fulfilled quite meritoriously. And so, when the usual tempo of the falling of the ship Karnak had been re-established, Hassein, the grandson of Beelzebub, again sat down at his feet, and turning to him, said, "Grandfather, oh dear grandfather, explain to me please why, as my uncle Tuwilin told me, does our common, all-embracing, unibeing autocrat endlessness appear so often on this holy planet, on which we have just been?" At this question of his grandson, Beelzebub this time became thoughtful, a little longer than usual, and then also with greater concentration than was usual for him, slowly said, "Yes, I do not know, my dear boy, with what to begin this time, in order to answer this question of yours in such a form as would satisfy me also. Since among many other tasks I've set myself in respect of you, as regards your Osciano, there is also this, that you at your age should have an exhaustive knowledge and understanding about this holy planet. In any case, you must first of all be told that this same holy planet, which is called Purgatory, is for the whole of our great universe, as it were, the heart and place of concentration of all the completing results of the pulsation of everything that functions and exists in the universe. Our common Father Creator Endlessness appears there so often, only because this holy planet is the place of the existence of the, in the highest degree, unfortunate higher being bodies who obtained their coating on various planets of the whole of our great universe. The higher being bodies, who have already merited to dwell on this holy planet, suffer maybe as much as anybody in the whole of our great universe. In view of this, our all-loving, endlessly merciful, and absolutely just Creator Endlessness, having no other possibility of helping these unfortunate higher being bodies with anything, often appears there, so that by these appearances of his he may soothe them, if only a little, in their terrible, inevitable state of inexpressible anguish. This planet began to actualize that aim for which it now exists much later than that period of the flow of time when the completing process of the creation of the now existing world was finished. In the beginning, all these higher being bodies who at the present time have the place of their existence on this holy planet went direct on to our most holy Son Absolute. But later, when that all-universal calamity, which we call the Chute God Litanical period, occurred in our great universe, then after this terrifying common cosmic calamity, similar higher being bodies who now dwell on this holy planet cease to have the possibility of blending directly with our most holy Son Absolute. Only after this Chute God Litanical period did the necessity appear for such a kind of general universal functioning which this holy planet Purgatory actualizes at the present time. It was just from this time that the whole surface of this holy planet was correspondingly organized and adapted in such a way that these higher being bodies might have the place of their already unavoidable existence on it. Having said this, Beelzebub became a little thoughtful, and with a slight smile, continued to tell the following. This holy planet is not only the center of the concentrations of the results of the functioning of all that exists, but it is also now the best, richest, and most beautiful of all the planets of our universe. When we were there, you probably noticed that we always saw and sensed that from there, all the space of our great universe, or as your favorites would say, all the skies, reflected, as it were, the radiance which recalls the radiance of the famous and incomparable Almacornian turquoise. Its atmosphere is always pure, like the phenomenal Sacrualnian crystal. Everywhere there, every individual with all his presence senses everything external, its kolunitsinnerly, or as your favorites would say, blissfully, delightfully. On that holy planet, as the informed say, of springs alone, both mineral and fresh, which for purity and naturalness are unequaled on any other planet of our universe, there are about 10,000. There, from the whole of our universe, are gathered the most beautiful and best songbirds, of which, as the informed also say, there are about 12,000 species. And as for the surplanetary formations, such as flowers, fruits, berries, and all others of the same kind, words are inadequate. It can be said that there are collected and acclimatized there almost the whole flora, fauna, and phosphalia from all the planets of our great universe. Everywhere on that holy planet, in corresponding gorges, are convenient caves of all kinds of interior forms made partly by nature herself and partly artificially, with striking views from their entrances. And in these caves, there is everything that can be required for a blissful and tranquil existence, with the complete absence of any essence anxiety whatever in any part of the presence of any cosmic independent individual, such as higher being bodies can also become. It is just in these caves that those higher being bodies exist by their own choice, who, owing to their merits, come to this holy planet from the whole of our great universe for their further existence. Besides all I have mentioned, there are also there the very best in regard to convenience as well as to speed, what are called ego-leonoptes, or as they are still sometimes called, omnipresent platforms. These ego-leonoptes freely move in all directions in the atmosphere of the holy planet at any desired speed, even at that speed in which the second-degree suns of our universe fall. The system of this kind of ego-leonopte was, it seems, invented specially for this holy planet by the famous angel, now already archangel, Herkisyon. Having uttered these last words, Beelzebub suddenly became silent and again deeply thoughtful. And Hassein and Ahun looked at him with surprise and interrogation. After a fairly long time had passed, Beelzebub, shaking his head in a special manner, again turned to Hassein and said, I am just now thinking that it would be very reasonable on my part if to this question of yours, why our endlessness so often rejoices this holy planet with his